Awesome. So today I'm going to be your host because Rich is out of office. This is my first time doing this, so I hope things go well. Let's give it a few minutes so everyone can join us. We're gonna start at 5 minutes past, and yeah, feel free to drop in any name and topic that you have. Okay, we might have Rick on the stage today, hopefully, and define, click on the draw. Yes, Rick, I'm going to share that as well. Okay, let's give it 2 more minutes and then I'm going to start. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Thank you everyone for joining this water cooler. I'm your host Mehdad. Today I'm going to replace Rich, and this is going to be my first water cooler. For anyone that's new here, water cooler is the place that we all gather together to discuss all things life peer. Anyone that wants to drop in a name and topic, they get 5 minutes to present their idea, share it with the community, and then we have time for others to discuss it. That the conversation can go longer than 5 minutes, but we tend to keep the presentations limited to 5 minutes. Uh, I'm going to start with a few updates and announcements from the foundation side, and then we're going to dive into the usual, which is the name and topic. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Give me a second. Okay, amazing. So, um, yeah, the announcements for today. We have the fee tax discussion, which was tabled last week. It's actually not an announcement. I'm just prompting it up again. So if someone wants to discuss it, please feel free to drop a name and topic, and we can discuss it again. I think this is an important discussion for us to have and talk about in this sort of forum. The next one is the protocol SPE. The proposal is out. This is the last call out for anyone that wants to chime in and share their thoughts. Please check it out on the forum. I'll share the link after I did this presentation. And lastly, we have two new builder ideas added to the board, and they're available on the Discord, so you can check them out. These opportunities are also posted in the retroactive opportunities channel, and they are funded retroactively. So if you're looking for small chunks of work and you want to participate, these are very good places that you can come in and start contributing. That's on the announcement side. In the opportunities, there aren't any new opportunities on the LivePeer roadmap this week, but as always, we have the opportunities from previous weeks. And also, if you have any ideas, any opportunities that you want to share with the community, please reach out to us or add them to the board so we can discuss them within the community and take them through the community pipeline to validate them and add them to the roadmap so we can add them to LivePeer. And lastly, from my side, on the accountability front, as you know, last week, we had all of the updates from the SPEs. So network engineering SPE, the protocol embody, and the UX, we already have the updates. We're looking forward to receive the updates from the other teams. And on the retroactive side, we have received all of the retroactive posts from these teams. And yeah, we're looking forward to the monthly updates 2 weeks from now at the end of the month again. And Pon, I'll share the access with you directly after this. So yeah, that was the presentation from my side. And now we can dive into name and topic. So, and we also have Rick on the stage. How are you, Rick?
Yeah, hello, hello. I'm doing great. A great week. Good weather here. A lot of exciting things. If people have questions about this grant, let me know. Also, the protocol SP you already called out. Take a look on the Explorer. I will share the link and vote however you want. That's my only call out.
Amazing. Thank you very much, and great to have you up here. It was a bit lonely. So the first name and topic, if I'm not mistaken, was Define. As always, quick on the draw. Define, do you want to come up and go for it?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Martad. I hope everyone is well and they had an amazing weekend. I'm gonna showcase the current version of Weave. We did a redesign and reimplementation so that the UX is better for the user. I haven't finished the revamping and I will be publishing a full video this week, but today I hope that you get an idea of how this evolves. And I will also speak later about where Weave goes and the updates regarding the Weave application. Give me a moment, please, to share my screen.
Sure, take your time.
Thank you, sir. I can't seem to find the particular window. So, can you see my screen?
It's loading on my side. Yes, we have it.
Same for me. Yes.
You see the correct screen? No, this is not the correct screen. 1 second. this is the screen. Can you see it?
Yes, now we have it.
Okay, amazing. So I reworked the width to be in 2i, and so that means that it is similar to how Codex, how Cloud Code operates. You have a terminal UI where you can do your operations. You can see, you can launch it with man command. You can also specify the app name if you want, or you can create your app name. And this is a bounded operational system that is meant to bring you from intent to execution. So it starts from the first stage where you basically, so this you can also utilize with your keyboard or with your screen by clicking in your screen. You can do both. It will bring you towards questions where basically ask you where you want to deploy this. I want to, and what agent you want to attach it. I want to attach to my local environment, and then it will ask you follow-up questions. You need to go next question. It will ask you different kinds of questions about what are the what you want the security boundary to be. So I want this to be able to create files, and similar just to showcase, um, I will, I will press something. I will go to the next stage. Once you finish that, it will ask you some questions about yourself. So here, for example, it will ask you about your expertise level, and you can continue answering these questions. A lot of the questions are also how you want the agent to communicate with you. So you won't be able to ask to enter the next stage if you haven't finished the previous one. But assuming that we have done it, then we proceed and we go into the intent. And this is where you specify exactly what intent you have for your application, and you're able to use this. For example, and then I press submit. Once you finish the intent, and depending on what you have answered, the app has specific prompt libraries that will route to the agent to take care of the next stages. So if you, for example, have answered that you're not very technical, the app will use different prompts than if you answered that you are expertly technical. And it will guide you through all the steps. Whenever you finish each of these steps, the app will show you the evidence, the artifacts that created, and you will have to go to go towards the evaluation steps, and then you will have to approve that. You can also select to have a hands-on or hands-off approach to your process, but the gist of it is that it will bring you all the way to create a monetizable application. So right now I'm putting all the finished touches to go till the QA stage, which will produce video artifacts,
Okay.
and then we'll
Sorry,
validate
how should
the
we
rest of
speed
the
up?
stages
Sorry, mate.
conscious
Because
of
of
time.
time, if you can
Yeah,
speed up, yeah, that would be
yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah, and then we'll validate the rest of the stages with the punch compute application that we are building right now. So these are the updates of Weave. I will produce a full video this week with the whole life cycle finished on this version. Or on the question of where Weave goes, the next natural step is to make the CLI into a web application. I created as a CLI so that it is easier to check it and validate if there are any errors. on it, on the UX flow. And after that, I think the most valuable thing to do is to create the ability to have agent to agent interactions between different Weave users so that we can actually incentivize users that build applications with Weave to use other people's application and have a network of information exchange so that we have the network effect from that. And on the Punch Compute application, the operational updates is that we hired someone specifically for marketing. They started working. They're doing research right now, and they're preparing all the pre-launch artifacts. And we hope that we will be able to launch the beta this month. So we believe that this will be good news from the orchestrators, and when this is out, we will give you the KPIs and how that goes as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions for Define and Viv? Feel free to drop them in the chat or come on up to the stage.
Particular for the UX flow, if you believe that, if you think that you would like to have a different UX flow because this was created so that it solves the problem of people interacting with LLM systems and not have a bounded and concrete way so that they can control the multiple applications that they're creating with these systems. If there is any of those questions, I will be more than happy to answer.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't think there is any questions at this moment. So, moving on to the next name and topic. Rick, you said that you're gonna jump to, for a few minutes. Do you want to come up, or should I go with John first? Okay, yeah. John, do you want to start? And also others, this seems like a very light water cooler. So if anyone else has name and topics, please feel free to just drop them in the chat. John, the floor is yours. How are you, mate? You're also mute if you're
Thank you,
speaking.
Merdad. Hear me all right now? Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Glad to have you post in the water cooler chat, and I'm excited to be working on the Live Peer Clearinghouse project for the direct grant that was approved this week. I've been working on, of course, Payment Clearinghouse and paymenthouse.com for a couple months now, and we recently moved over to OpenMeter as a billing solution and consulting with Josh and Rick to put this all together as a modular payment clearinghouse stack that can support other projects in the Livepeer ecosystem. So today I just want to kind of demo what that roadmap looks like, go over just briefly, show you our milestones, and do a quick demo. So right now I have the Livepeer dashboard set up. This is like a example that Rick was developing. It shows like the ability to integrate usage reporting as well as generate API keys for the SDK, and then see jobs that are on the network. So I'm logged in as a certain user right now, and I've got $5 of credit. So every user logs in gets $5 of credit, and they can start streaming. We'll go here to the API keys tab, and you can click create a key. This is going to give them a long-lived bearer key that's good for about 90 days. We can put that into the SDK. This would be obviously probably built into a better UI application for the user, and then they can start the stream. And it's connecting to Livepeer Utopia. And I'll just demo here the output as well. So this gets going. I typed that wrong. There we go. And you can see it's pretty well streaming on the back end now through the SDK, but we'll see the video pop up. There we are. Right, so this is actually running through the Stream Diffusion SDXL pipeline, but it's just like a write frames flip between different colors, but it kind of shows how that works. And then back to the dashboard here and the usage panel, we can see a little less credit than we had before. So we started a job, we've got some signed requests. So as you refresh the page, you'll see your usage dip down over a couple of minutes. Each start job request is about 14 cents right now. Um, and one other thing we're working on is getting the usage app, the model attribution in place. I do have an open PR for this, but and it was working. I just actually rolled back the signer, so that's why we're currently reporting unknown for the model. Um, but just want to give some context there, and so you can see this probably will dip down to a few less now. Give it some time. And then, so this actually feeds through OpenMeter. We've got some events coming through here. So if we refresh this, we can see what these look like. These are the Kafka events that are being pushed from the hosted infrastructure to OpenMeter. And then OpenMeter plugs into many types of billing and payment systems like Stripe. It has its own internal invoicing, but we can build our own payment systems and integrate with things like USDC or use Stripe's machine-to-machine payments protocol. So that's pretty well covers what we have so far. So the current, this is also a view of Payment House here. It's got somewhat better usage graph and giving a little data here. But what you have is a webhook that's in the dashboard. Well, it's in Payment Clearinghouse right now, serving the dashboard. And that's what we've recently integrated, which was one of the first milestones on the list to be delivered, which the project didn't get approved until Monday. I actually had this set a little early for this past weekend, but nonetheless, I shipped it in Payment Clearinghouse or into Payment House, and we're working on getting this into the Live Pure Clearinghouse repo. So the plan is to have bootstrap scripts that you can just bootstrap your own OpenMeter instance, hosted, of course, and then also a basic identity model using auth0.com. So that's pretty much most of the demonstration I have for today. Any questions on scope and milestones or anything one wants to follow up on?
Awesome. It's interesting to see how all of this thing is coming together. I remember working on it I remember when you were working on payment clear housing like 3, 4 months ago. So it's really interesting. If anyone has any questions, feel free to jump on the stage or drop them in the chat. I have one. Um, who do you think are the main users of this within the community? What's the best way you think we can onboard others into using it? I know it's like right now coming together and being shipped, but I think it's great to like talk about who can use it so we can also pull them into using and adapting it.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So the clearinghouse is, in a way, built mostly for people wanting to build their own platforms. Like if you want to build your own LivePeer Studio type of website and issue tokens to your users to use the service, and so it's really geared towards enabling businesses to grow on LivePeer. But in another sense, the SDK and the remote signer architecture is essential to end users to be able to use the applications, and their authentication goes directly to the signer between the SDK and the signer. So um, technically, I think the consumers of this will mostly be people building their own platforms, like in this case, the LivePeer dashboard or NAP also has an older version built into it. Um, Blue Claw would be a good example, or Stream, or the Frameworks SPE. And Blue Claw and Mike have done some really great work, as well as Rick, building transcoding containers on our current AI streaming rails, which is going to really help us accelerate, the capabilities in the network as well. They've got several different capabilities that they can add through that architecture. So excited to bring those on to the remote signing flow, and I think Shane and Mike have some updates there on their work as well.
Awesome, thank you. Also, there's a question from Phileas. Could you clear a stablecoin to fiat card payment? Is that something that's going to be part of this?
It's not in the immediate scope of what we posted on the forum, but this is what we're trying to get to. We want to enable agent payments. One of the things that Stripe has is end-to-end payments protocol, and I think I just found it. End-to-end. Anyway, this is I think what you're referring to, my expectation is we can plug this pretty much direct into OpenMeter using its invoicing system. That gets us off the ground much faster, and then we can start developing our own more custom payment systems. So some of the initial work that I did was scoping out like the smart contracts for USDC and allowing like a pre-auth on a wallet. That way we can draw as they use usage. So you're just pre-authoring $12 and you just start using the service and it just pays as it goes. I think that's kind of the mechanism that we're going to be using for 402, the way we're going to be using 402, in other words.
Okay, interesting. Thank you. I hope that answered your question, Aphelios. Uh, Anyone else? Any questions? Okay, I assume there are no questions. So moving on to the next topic. Shane, do you want to talk about agenting workflows? Come on stage.
Yo, could I have like 2 more minutes? Is there someone else that could go before me? I got a presentation that'll be really cool and really quick, but it's a demo of it actually working in real time.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Rick, do you want to start talking about the protocol SPE? Oh, okay. So there isn't anything else that you want to share? Okay, no worries, no worries. Okay, let me check if we had anyone else. Am I missing anyone? Um, okay. While we're waiting for Shane, I'm going to actually share about the example apps a little bit more. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we have the two new opportunities, and these two new opportunities are two new builder ideas that anyone within the community can take on and start working on them. The reason for their existence is that they help us to test some of the new stack that is being developed within the LivePeer ecosystem. And the stack is at the very earliest stage. So partially, part of the work that is being done from the contributor side is to figure out how they work and try to create a consumer app on top of this new stack. And it helps the underlying builders to make sure that the path they created for onboarding actually works. This is part of the network engineering SPE, and I believe with network engineering SPE now we have the opportunity to fund these small initiatives to make sure that the work is happening and try to unlock people when there is need for some additional resource. And yeah, so if you have any questions, please reach out to either me or Rick on these two new opportunities. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right.
Shane, how are you, mate?
And okay, 1 second. All right. Okay, this is demo time. Demo time, guys. This is the first time doing the full demo, so it's one of those fun demos. But here, let me clear this. Let me open this up. Okay, perfect. Okay, I think between this and this, that's all we need. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Now I'm going to be doing some pretty crazy. Oh, actually, can you add this user zoo to the stage? I
Yeah,
guess I'll request to speak.
yeah,
Oh wait, actually, wait, no, sorry. Wait, it does need to share screen. So yeah, if you could add, that'd be great.
okay. I just did.
Perfect.
This is interesting.
Okay, and yeah, I because of the nature of it. Okay, here we go. I'm now going to share screen because that user is on my other machine.
Okay.
So I need to be on the other machine, share from the other machine. So now I'm going to choose. Yeah, I'm going to share my window. Okay, you guys see? Oh wait. Okay, do you guys see my window then?
Yep, we have it.
Okay, fantastic. And let's see, other people are hearing me. I'm not seeing the green around me on my other user, so we'll see if it's working.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
Don't worry.
you can't hear. Okay, sounds good. Um, uh, oh, you know what? Hold up. Oh, okay. Sorry. No, I'm supposed to share my screen on this user. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Drive. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up a presentation, or I'm going to do a like 2 minute presentation on what this is, and I'm actually capturing. I'm going to capture use the agent to capture uh, the presentation, and it will do kind of a live demo of it working in real time. So now I'm going to actually share my screen from. Um, let's see. Oh wait, no. Okay, share screen. Selection. Da-da-da. Yeah, perfect. Okay, you guys see my screen?
Yep, we have the screen.
Nice. Okay, great. So what I won't be able to do is I won't be able to show you uh, the agent, like me starting the agent, because that's technically on my other machine. But what I'm doing now is I'm opening a terminal and I'm putting in, I'm just typing codecs. Uh, uh, I'm doing codecs so that I can run everything, or so I got my agent open. Now I'm going to paste in a request. I'm saying use this skill. So what I have is I have a skill inside of an empty directory. I'm saying use this skill to capture a webinar being streamed to a local uh, to a local. It's an extension. I'll get into how it works, but I'm streaming from an extension on my browser, and I say I want to transcribe the video or transcribe the audio and do a video analysis for 3 minutes of the stream. Use this skill directly to complete this. After completing the capture, look at the transcript and the video analysis and give a summary. Okay, so now I'm just going to paste that in here.
Okay, just to let you know, Shane, we're just watching the presentation
Presentation. Yeah, that's yeah. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the presentation.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's capturing it. So that's what I was trying to. I was trying to get the terminal in the screen as well, but I wasn't going to be able to do that and have it capture the screen. So, anyways, I kind of messed up that part of it. But so yeah, I'll now just kind of go through these different slides. It takes a minute or two for it to do the skill and register and start everything going. But it's very quick for what it is. And so, okay. I'll just kind of go through then kind of how this works. So what I've done is it is a working prototype right now. What it has is it's got the main thing that I've been developing is kind of twofold. Is one, you have this runtime which sits right between the agent scale and RoboFlow, which is basically a workflow authoring kind of platform. It allows you to kind of connect things in a really easy way. And then behind that is then LivePeer. And so the other thing I've been doing a lot of is working with Mike and creating special kind of package capabilities so that we can just have an LLM use this runtime to do things like transcribing, to do things like analyzing video, like live video, which is what my agent is currently doing. And all of that happens. Inside, or is being able to be executed via skill. And so the agent simply, before I go into how authoring works, really what the runtime is doing is abstracting away a lot of things that an agent would have to do in order to just take a video stream and start capturing it and transcribing it. Just to do that in itself, I mean, you'd have to. I've got all these kind of like different endpoints and different things that you'd have to fully manage yourself if you were just to give it basically a LivePeer endpoint and just say, oh, okay, just go do this or go build this right now. You couldn't do it in real time. It would have to build out a whole application. It would have to build to manage state, to manage endpoints, authorization, all this stuff. Well, what essentially this runtime does is abstracts away most all of that to where it's more about authoring. Agents simply come, they can author what they want to author, and like I said, I just gave a one paragraph prompt saying, hey, I want to capture this, I want to transcribe this, and I have one extension on my Chrome that is streaming a tab of this presentation. So I'm streaming, or actually I have it streaming Discord. My bad, I have it streaming Discord right now. So it's streaming Discord with the while capturing my what's being displayed, which is on my screen, my presentation right now, and that's happening through an extension. And then it's taking that stream and it's just running it all through LivePeer right now. So everything is actually going to LivePeer. You can see there at the end of it, it funnels through RoboFlow and then it goes into LivePeer. So right now, actual orchestrators are taking a stream of video, they're taking a stream of audio, and they're turning it into actual through capabilities. They're turning it into text and sending it back. So this is all happening 100%. Through LivePeer, the amount of work that the agent has to do, or that the client has to do, is very minimal because all the heavy GPU capabilities are being abstracted away to LivePeer right now. And then the kind of just mentioning the authoring, it's actually very easy. I'm going to check in on my agent, and let me see what their I forgot to do the permissions. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, there's a permission thing. It was asking approval to run something. Darn it! I forgot to adjust the permissions for that. Anyways, it's actually running.
So
So, anywho, no, we'll see how this works out. We'll just let it do its thing. I won't worry about the presentation. I already have a slide up, so it'll capture the slide whenever it's up. But I'm happy to answer questions and talk a little more about anything specific.
So just a question, what will be the exact output of the agent? I think I missed that part.
Yeah, so the output right now is the transcriptions coming from LivePeer. So it's transcribing by sending the audio or the audio directly to a capability that's being hosted on Mike's Mongo stack, and then that capability behind that is actually an NVIDIA NeMo-based transcription capability, which is running it's running a model to transcribe. It's also running a model to identify speakers. So just the fact that you and I just had that back and forth, it'll be able to identify that there were two speakers in the call, and all that's then being packaged as one capability. So then the agent just simply sends audio there, and the container itself that's housing this capability through the Nemo framework is just doing all of that processing, and then sending back the transcriptions.
Okay.
And it's the exact same kind of very similar process with the video analysis. It's using I believe it's Florence too. It's a model for video analysis. It just takes in images and very quickly is able to process them, pull any text from them, and then it outputs the the whatever was on the screen. And so it can identify, it's not just an OCR where it pulls text, it actually has full understanding of what it's seeing. So it understands GUIs, it understands websites and things of that nature. So that's also being hosted right now by LivePeer orchestrators, and they're currently serving it.
Amazing.
And that too will output. Yeah, and that too will output a description of all of the slides. And one of the cool things here is also what's going on is there is an algorithm that is actually checking if a slide is changed. So if the slide hasn't changed, it's not going to keep just going through and capturing a bunch of the same slide over and over again. So it's actually doing some cool work kind of there in the background with deciding if enough has changed on the screen to be worth sending out that image to get the description back.
Awesome. A question from Rick. How does your agent find new capabilities?
Let's see, new capabilities on LivePeer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for LivePeer, at least right now, I'm not sure which mic was asking the question, but okay, it's not the mic I've been working with. Okay. Mike Stack has an API for getting capabilities, and so those capabilities are advertised by orchestrators when they use Mike's kind of like gateway stack. And so I'm calling it Mike Stack. That's who I've been interfacing with this whole time. I'm not sure if there's a more proper term, but LivePeer modules, if you want to call it that. But all of the capabilities are broadcast to the network by or are broadcast by orchestrators, and then those are able to be read by the gateway and then accessible to my agent via the capabilities API.
Okay, yeah, amazing. And more questions from Rick. I'm gonna first go for the second one. So do you automatically pick up capabilities and your runtime understands them, or do you manually add them?
So it's a little bit of both. Basically, you can just query the API and get all the capabilities that are there, and as long as those capabilities are within Um, well, they each have their own API calls. So what I've been doing is every single capability that I've been adding, I've been tailoring it to the OpenAI standard. So there's an OpenAI transcription API. There's an OpenAI visual API. So I've been taking these non-OpenAI models and I've been shaping it to those APIs. So then an agent that receives that API, that capability, and it knows how to use the OpenAI API, it can then just do whatever it wants with it. There is some there is some abstracting that Mike's stack is kind of doing, so I don't have to do a lot of live peer heavy lifting. And so his stack is kind of like offering all of this stuff through APIs. And so I'm able to access it through my agent. So it knows exactly how to use those APIs through the capabilities. And so it self-discovers. It is able to self-discover capabilities. Now, then the question is, after you have this, once you have, okay, I have this access to this model, to do something like, oh, let me just take a stream from a, webinar or a community call and just have it transcribed. That takes a lot of work. And that's what I've been, most of my time has been trying to flesh out with this kind of runtime to just make it easy for agents to just be literally given a paragraph and just be able to go and execute versus build. So like my agent that captured everything, it didn't have to execute or build anything. It really just executed versus building. And so that's what, saves from having to spend a weekend to try to, troubleshoot, get everything working, to just being able to use it. And it's been an absolute, it's been a lot of work to try to get all this to just execute, because this is a lot of a lot of different moving parts all simultaneous that all have to be aligned, which is why runtime is really handy to have.
Okay, yeah, amazing. It's super interesting to see this coming together. And as John mentioned it, this is the way to go. One more question from Rick. Is the repo capabilities container open source for people to look at?
Oh, it will be. Yep. I haven't published it right now. I've actually published 2 of the capabilities that are currently being used right now, and I could actually put those in chat. But the runtime itself, I'll be getting that out probably in the next day or 2. But I at least wanted to, have everything here to be able to show, which unfortunately I'm not showing the screen that's really interesting right now because I wanted it to capture my presentation. So the interesting screen of the agent running isn't what's being captured, which, maybe I'll do, maybe next week I can just go through the agent side to show it. But I'll already have the repo out and people could go ahead and deploy, their own, have their agent put together some very basic, workflows using the different capabilities that are currently in the skill and accessible via LivePeer.
Awesome. Looking forward to see the agent side and like see the outputs. It's very interesting to see like how an agent can work with this stack this easily. And one more question from Rick. Are you planning to host an app version for RoboFlow?
An app version for RoboFlow. I'm not sure an app version for RoboFlow.
A UI that people can try.
Like a UI for people to try out. So the tryout would actually be more of a skill. You just give it to your agent, and then you say, "Hey, I want to capture. I want to do, I want to take this audio file and transcode it. I want to take this video file and do a video analysis of it." Those are the kind of things that you can do as a skill right now if you just put it into your agent. So that's the main user interface that people would use to interface with this. It's not so much because the hosting is already happening on LivePeer. Like LivePeer is already doing the heavy lifting of hosting it. But in terms of making it accessible, I can, I'll be posting this to GitHub and I'll make it really user friendly so people can just take the skill folder, drop it in, and then they should pretty much be good to go if they have Docker, if their agent has access to Docker. But we could work through a couple different scenarios if they don't have access to Docker, or ways to make it more user friendly. But at least from my vision, that's what I was originally thinking. Is this is for an agent, so I don't think I'm going to have like a hosted service somewhere, because that would just be a proxy, a mic stack, which is going to live peer. So I don't really know what another middleman would do if your agent has the skill and is able to interface directly with live peer.
Awesome. And one last question from Rick. Will you have a live peer skill repo eventually?
A live peer skill repo eventually. Yeah. Like that's so right now I've been launching runners, which is what I put in the put in the chat already. So yeah, I've got runners, and then at least right now I'm just gonna have everything under one single skill. And yeah, that skill will be accessible, just downloadable, and then you're off to the races if you add it to your agent.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Define.
Yes, so first of all, now that Saint showed us the demo, I think that there is a lot more value than what was initially perceived. I still want to understand some things regarding the robot flow JSON. What exactly the robot flow JSON does, and if it is deployed into the orchestrators node.
So what RoboFlow is doing is it's just working locally on the like kind of within the skill, or within the application that the skill is interfacing with, right? So the agent will need to install a few things. Like I said, if you're using Docker, it'll just deploy a Docker container. But then inside that Docker container is then this kind of like runtime, which is interfacing both with RoboFlow, primarily interfacing with RoboFlow, and then we have the live peer aspect, and going from kind of RoboFlow in this runtime to live peer. So RoboFlow is more of like an authoring and like creating the logic of like easily being able to create logical flows. So RoboFlow extracts that. So I don't have to create really this whole like internal engine of having flows and connecting flows together. RoboFlow already does that, but it's not really it's not the kind of abstraction that you can just give to an agent and then it just already instantly kind of knows what to do and is able to run with it. And there's also a couple of things where it's not able to handle sessions and APIs and stuff like that. So that's where the runtime kind of comes in, because it abstracts anything that RoboFlow isn't abstracting away to then make it really easy. All they have to do is, again, the skills that the intent. You just kind of state your intent, and it's basically able to just author everything in a manner that just simply works. With RoboFlow kind of being the connector, kind of like the engine in the middle between a lot of these different elements.
So basically, RoboFlow creates the recipe that gives ready to the live peer nodes that host this capability. Okay, amazing. This sounds.
Yeah. Now, not all like it's not. Like the runtime is not just an abstraction layer from RoboFlow, because there are some things that the runtime has to do that RoboFlow just doesn't do. But in terms of authoring flows, like actually just like getting a flow down, that is where RoboFlow is used in the middle. Yeah, to get the flow down.
And all of the intermediary layers and the software that communicates with the live peer node is not hosted in some third-party cloud, is hosted into the client's device, right?
It could be if which is what right now this is about a proof of concept, which this is what I've proven is that this kind of workflow and capability is possible. Kind of where I would see this evolving into is, okay, let's take this to the next step. Let's make this completely self-hostable. right? To where you don't even have to go through a stack that Mike's running. Because right now, Mike's gateway is acting as a gateway. Now he's abstracting things away so that it's way easier for people to interface directly with LivePeer. But no, the machine right now is not fully, just interfacing directly with LivePeer on its own without anyone in the middle. There is a hosted gateway stack that is helping facilitate that, which is part of the benefit of what Mike has built and what they've deployed. It makes it easy for someone like me just to build with LivePeer. Now, the next evolution of that is a fully self-hosted one, and that could absolutely be done. And that's where then taking this and like, okay, let's turn this into a proper platform where you can either have everything self-hosted, and it would have to manage an Ethereum wallet, or you can have everything, uh, or you could have kind of the fast route, which is using a gateway stack. At least right now with live peer modules using that gateway stack, but it could also be other gateway stacks within live peer as well. So that's where I believe this should go, and I believe that's where the evolution should be.
Okay, amazing. Really well done, Sven, and I'm looking forward to test it in Weave when you have it ready because I think it fits really nicely in some
Nice.
of the parts of the
Yeah, no,
web.
I agree.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Shane. It was really interesting. Um,
Yeah, maybe next week we'll do. I'll figure out the screen sharing so that we could, really show everything live and show it working. Or maybe I'll be able to put together a little video or something. But anyway, really appreciate you guys. Kind of working with me through this.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So I don't think we have anyone else on the name and topic. So the last part of Watercooler, as we do it usually, is to give a shout out to someone else within the community. So feel free to praise anyone that you've been working with, anyone that has helped you. I'm gonna start from my side, and over the past couple of weeks, I've been working very closely with Rick, and I see he's been doing a lot, like on different fronts, many fronts, and I just want to give a shout out to him. Anyone else? Define, John, and shout out?
Shout out to everyone in the community who is building during the bear market and doing an amazing job doing so.
And shout out to Shane and Mike for the work they've been doing. It's looking really good.
Everyone echoing John and Define here on building on bear market, and also the shout out to Shane. Okay, Rick's typing. Shout out to IBS. Yeah, he's been also working on the Explorer opportunity videos. Shout out to EC. Yeah, so we're looking forward to see the first milestone from the Explorer RFP. Amazing. Shout out to Josh. And yeah, we're at time, but I'm gonna give it like a couple more minutes for all the shout outs to come in. Ah, thank you very much, Ben. I hope this was a pleasant water cooler. To be honest with you, I was nervous and this was my first time doing this, so I hope it was good. And yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day. Cheers.